Social media will have you wasting a lot of time, not only actively engaging in stuff that sometimes you don't even like. This is a legitimate worldwide epidemic. People watching stuff online that enrages them. There's even bait for that to keep you roped in. Not to mention, when you put the app down, you may have been indoctrinated with things that further waste your time. And let's talk about a skincare myth that you can just put on the back burner and walk away from, and that is an eye cream that will not cause milia. People are always asking me, what is a good eye cream that will not cause milia? This is a question you don't need to ask anymore. You do not need to ask for this. You do not need to ask for a moisturizer that does not cause milia, because milia, which we're going to get into in today's video, they're not caused by moisturizers. They're not caused by pore clogging ingredients. There are a couple of different reasons to have milia, and they're actually pretty common. First of all, milia are little cysts that are full of keratin, which is a protein that your epidermis makes. It's what comprises your hair. There are a lot of different types of keratin, but suffice it to say, it's a little ball that forms that gets filled with keratin. Looks, like these pearly little bumps that are usually, around 4 millimeters in diameter, and they can crop up out of nowhere around the eyes, on your cheeks, on the backs of your hands, and they can stay there for a long time. And then one day they might spontaneously resolve, or you might take measures into your own hands and, get yourself one of those godforsaken comedone extractors you can buy and attempt to enucleate them yourself, or, you can see your dermatologist and they can do it for you. They're not caused by cream, though. They're not caused by cream. You can deep dive into the medical literature. Every dermatology textbook that I have ever encountered, there has never been a mention of these being caused by skincare products that people put on their face. Now, they are really common actually in little babies, young children, and they regress and go away. It's thought to be in those cases related to the fact that the various ducts and glands in our skin are still in the developing stages and maybe more inclined to form these little benign cysts. A lot of young children, they'll actually develop what's called an allergic crease on the nose, like a little horizontal crease from rubbing the nose like this. And then those kids, because of that repetitive trauma, oftentimes will develop a little line of milia within that crease. It's called pseudoacne of the nasal crease. And again, not dangerous and something that can either be removed by your derm or will, go away on its own. The other reason to have milia form is because you have some genetic condition. There are many. Above and beyond the scope of today's video, there are all of these what we call genodermatoses, genetic skin conditions that have milia as part and parcel of that individual's makeup to form little cysts filled with keratin. For the vast majority of people out there who do develop these, a lot of it is related perhaps to traumatic things that happen to the skin. Not putting a cream on, but rather maybe you had a procedure that was injurious to the skin, like an aggressive chemical peel, a deep chemical peel. An adverse effect of that is subsequent formation of milia. Or perhaps you had some sort of dermabrasion procedure, resurfacing laser treatment. Potential adverse effect of those procedures is milia formation. Maybe you unfortunately sustained a thermal burn, a skin injury that can heal with, scarring and milia formation. Maybe you have a primary skin condition that is inflammatory, perhaps even comprised of episodes of blister formation, such as bullous pemphigoid, even lichen planus, an inflammatory skin condition. I have not a lot of videos. I've got like one on lichen planus and another one on lichen planus of the hair. Yeah, various inflammatory skin conditions can get on in there and really lead to the formation of these cysts called milia as a result of the disease process itself. Also, those of you out there who found me through my video on skin warning signs of lupus, systemic lupus erythematosus, you hopefully took away from that video that lupus can do a whole heck of a lot, including all sorts of packages, if you will, filled with skin things, and one of them is going to be milia formation. We mentioned thermal burn, but also, of course, sunburn. You can develop milia following sunburn as it heals, and also just over your lifetime, sun exposure does a lot of damage to the supportive framework around the eccrine sweat gland, and that ultimately can lead to the formation of milia. milia. So maybe even more common in folks who have had a lot of sun exposure. So of course, you should be protecting your skin from the sun. Now, the other reason for milia to form, in addition to sun damage and the aging process, is perhaps you had some sort of injury, like you were in a car accident, you scraped your arm. That could lead to the formation of milia. And I already know at this point I've got some people fuming. Steam is coming out of your ears. I can't explain the phenomenon, but I know it's happening. There are people who are like, oh no, I 100% disagree with you. You don't know what you're talking about. And here's the thing. A couple of things could be going on. First of all, you have eye cream and milia going on, and they're guilty by association. Because a lot of times I'll see stories and comments where people will be like, every time I use that eye cream, I wake up with milia. It's not really a if this, then immediately this. I mean, it's a cyst, so it doesn't just like become keratin filled overnight like that and form, you know, the wall and all that. I mean, there are a lot of little events within the skin that need to occur. So to say that you put cream on and then boom, all of a sudden a true milial cyst formed, it's very unlikely. These cysts, they do become perhaps more common as we get up there in years, and as we get up there in years, we start using eye creams more commonly. So again, can be guilty by association. But importantly with that is really what people go about looking for. It's like, not only have eye creams never truly been shown to cause milia, eye creams, moisturizers, skincare products don't cause milia by clogging pores or anything of that sort. The other part of that query is now looking for a product that won't do that. And that operates on the premise that we have established that there's something about certain products, their thickness, their consistency, their ingredient profile, that when applied in vulnerable populations leads to the formation of these things. I mean, these are dots that people have put on a map and connected, for which there is no true backstory. All right. So in other words, skincare brands have not nailed down any particular formulation that does and does not cause milia. Because here's the thing, brands make an eye cream. If this was a legit thing that had been vetted and established and consistently shown to cause this problem, which as a reminder, it has not, why the heck would a brand make a milia producing eye cream willingly if they knew of a way to make one that wouldn't do that? They just wouldn't. Okay, they're in the business of making money, and somebody who's not happy is not going to be a returning customer. Okay, there's just no such thing. The other thing that is really important to keep in mind with anything in the skin, but this case in particular, is not everything that you might think is milia or have been told by your non-dermatologist interactions, we'll say, are milia. There are a lot of little white bumps that can happen, especially a delicate eye area, that look like milia but are not it. Meaning they're not little cysts. They could be syringomas, they could be cholesterol deposits, they could just be chicken skin, prominent oil glands up under there, sebaceous hyperplasia, the list goes on and on. If you do have milia, like I said, your dermatologist can easily pop them out, and they'll clear up obviously a lot faster, like that day upon having the procedure. And it doesn't guarantee, however, that you won't get more down the road. And it's not the kind of thing that insurance commonly reimburses for. So yeah, you're going to end up paying for it. And so you might be tempted to take matters into your own hands. And to that I say, take a seat, because A, you got to make sure that it's actually milia, because like I said, there are a lot of little sneaky snakes that look like milia but are not it. And B, you could scar yourself, which is the last thing you want to do. Scar yourself, cause further injury around the area, which subsequently, unfortunately would then make you even more predisposed to making more milia down the road. And I know it's frustrating, because if you have had them removed by a dermatologist, it's so stinking easy that, you're probably going to assume that it's something you can do yourself. I don't recommend doing that. I don't recommend doing that for reasons I just explained. But yeah, I mean, and dermatologists don't even need fancy equipment. A hypodermic needle, kind of bend it at an angle to nick the surface, and then literally can take a paper clip. You don't even need a comedone extractor. You can take a paper clip and knock it out, right? It's depending on, again, the other thing here is, some milia might be down a little bit deeper. You're not necessarily amenable to all that. So again, you got to be careful. Is there anything that you could do though to prevent these from forming, to strengthen the skin? If you make these, the other question you need to ask yourself is, as well, I just went on this tirade about how creams don't cause this. There is an exception, of course, and that is going to be your topical steroids. Topical steroid creams can cause dermal atrophy with long-term inappropriate, okay, that's the key word, inappropriate, all right? I don't want to contribute to the steroid phobia out there. The topical steroid phobia is what keeps eczema burning and churning. But, you know, if you got yourself a prescription for a steroid cream once upon a dream, I made a rhyme, you forgot about it, and now, you know, you've got something going on that you don't know what it is, and it's a wait to Timbuktu to see that derm who's 4 hours away in the big city. I get it, all right? And so you might be tempted to take that topical steroid and self-treat. Well, an adverse effect of doing that is it can cause dermal atrophy, skin thinning, and set the stage for milia formation. That's especially going to be true if you use it, you know, around the eyes, on the face. So that's another thing to keep in mind there. So aside from that, the other thing that can actually help you out in the long run is consistent use of a topical retinoid, if tolerated. Tretinoin, adapalene perhaps, triferatin, tazarotene, even potentially your cosmetic forms of topical vitamin A that can help improve collagen production. It's just basically improving dermal thickness. The other game changer, of course, is going to be sunscreen. Sun protection. Also, you know, when we're talking about delicate eyelid area, wearing the sunglasses, because the UVA rays, including those that come through the window, like if you sit in front of a window, I would definitely be protecting with sunscreen if you spend a good portion of your day in front of a window, because that's a lot of UVA, which damages the deeper layers of the skin. All right, y'all, that's what I wanted to talk about with regards to the formation of milia. So hope this frees up some space in your hard drive of time, because don't get it twisted. No sooner do you free up some space, but there are 10 people knocking on the door wanting to hop on a call, right? Wanting to hop on a call. Nothing gets my sphincters clenching down like a hop on a call. Okay, Peter Rabbit, no. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, on the end slate, you're gonna wanna watch my video on bumps around the eyes that are not milia. So make no mistake, not all little pearly white bumps are created equal. If you guys enjoyed this one though, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.